up, everybody? We're back with another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. I am your boy, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me, as always, is Eddie, what the fuck, B?
You can't get my name right because you stuttering?
No, I got your name right.
Okay.
And our very, very special guest today, fuck the Lord of the Flies, because we've got the King of the Bees from the faraway land of In the Bucket, Topher Cantler.
Yay!
Cha. King of the Bees, I like that.
Yes, the Master of Ikaruga and dang, what was the other puzzle game that you and Stella used to play?
Sits high on the throne of Bullet Hell.
Puzzle Fighter.
Oh yes.
All the Puzzle Fighter. So, I think we're going to run our regular format today. We'll let the guest take the floor here. Topher, what have you been playing since you've gone off the air of Retroforce GO?
Like 10 years ago. What have I been playing
what
for
are
the
the
past
highlights? What's got
10
you hyped?
years? Lately, I'm playing Splatoon more than anything. That's kind of my thing these days, I guess.
Nice. Did you pick it up with Splatoon 1, or did you jump into 2?
No, I jumped right into it on launch day with the first one.
Oh, good man. Oh, I loved Splatoon. I wish to God I had more time to actually dedicate to it. I barely ever get to jump into it, and it makes me sad, because every time I do play it, I love it so much.
Yeah, it's kind of consuming if you let it be.
I can imagine that. It's one of those games like any other major online shooter where if you really want to get something out of it, you've really got to be willing to dedicate the time to it.
Yeah, I put 2,200 hours into the first one, and I'm over 1,000 hours now in the second one.
Yeah.
Yikes!
The matches are only 3 minutes, so you bound to get like a good 20 to 30 matches in if the online works.
If the online works.
What other fun stuff have you been jiving on lately?
I finished up Octopath Traveler a little while ago. That was good. It wasn't awesome. It wasn't bad. It was just good.
All right.
The music was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was just kind of a solid, just good RPG. I didn't go crazy for it, but it wasn't quite as groundbreaking or, amazing as everybody seemed to think it was going to be. But it was good. It's solid. I liked it.
Nice.
I was playing Don't Starve for quite a while, too, on the Switch, which is maybe the buggiest, most unstable thing I've played in as long as I can remember. The Switch version of that game is really not okay.
Is it like slow down or
just weird bugs and the point of that game when you get far enough is to you go into the caves, and then once you're in the caves you can go even lower into the ruins. On the Switch version, when you go into the ruins, it just freezes the game.
Ooh.
It completely locks up, and because it auto saves when you go in there, your save is just gone.
Oh no!
Because you try to restart the game and boot that save again, and it's just you dropping into the ruins and getting stuck.
Ouch!
Yikes!
Yeah.
Oh, that's tragic.
Did they announce that they're going to patch it, or?
I talked to them about it on Twitter, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, we'll look into it."
Don't look into it. Fix it. People paid this money to get your game. You just gonna leave it broken like that?
Oh, sin. Oh, any other big highlights for you? You want to jam on?
I'm trying to think. Not really. That's been the bulk of what I've been playing.
Right on.
A little other stuff here and there. I did this past weekend. I just played Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime with a couple of buddies.
Oh, you lucky bastard!
That was great. It really was, because I saw that when it came out, and I was like, meh, it looks all right. I guess it's an indie game.
Mm-hmm.
But to actually sit down with 3 other people and play it, oh, it's a blast. We really had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got it free when it was one of the games with gold a while back, and I'm like, I like this idea, but fuck, I don't have anybody to play with, and it's not fun by myself.
Yeah, it's kind of not fun by yourself, but if you got 4 people on a couch screaming at each other, it's
I could
pretty good time.
I could totally see the potential in it. Absolutely. I was sad I didn't have anybody to enjoy it with. I keep looking at it going, it's like Overcooked in space. That's what it made me think. And it just made me sad I didn't have, like, friends to fucking play with.
Yeah, that is the problem, having friends. It's not an easy thing.
No, it's not. It's hard fucking work. So passing the mic, Eddie, the hell have you been playing?
So I'm going to start with Xbox One. Downloaded the Battlefield 5 beta for it, and it's really good. The shooting actually feels good. The like moving around, just moving around this big map is great. I hopefully whatever the campaign will be, that it plays just like multiplayer, because the guns sound really good, and I want to hear it, because I'm picking it up in November, and I want to hear it through my headset. I literally want to hear the sound mixing of it, because it sounds like it's going to be really good. But man, I had a blast. It don't take long to load you into the game. If you're teaming up with other players, you normally just have to wait till another player dies, or sometimes you'll be on the ground and you'll have the option to like call for help so for someone to come revive you, or you could just give up and let time run down and just revive yourself, or wait for someone else to get your whole team to get killed, and then all 4 of you guys come back in the game. So what they had was like a capture the flag kind of mode, and it was fun. And I think everybody starts off with like 800 players, like 800 lives in a sense. And the more, deaths that happen, the more your, that count for that number starts going down. But yeah, it looks really good. I just had a great blast with it. I'm like really loving the game, so I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to do way better than Black Ops.
So my question then is, from what you've played so far of Battlefield 5, would it be fair to say that Battlefield 5 is exactly one better than Battlefield 4?
That is what we were promised.
To actually tell you the truth, yeah.
All right, as long as it's one better. If it's 2 better, that is unacceptable.
Because I have Battlefield 1, or whatever they consider as 4. I have that, and it feels way improved, like, from it. It kind of, and I don't know if you, Topher, played Titanfall 2 or anything,
nah.
But Titanfall 2 is a great game. It feels a little bit like that, but a little bit tighter. And I was just like, wow, DICE finally got the mechanics right in their game. If the guns feel this good and actually are effective, because DICE is terrible at making games. They're good at making levels and making stuff fall and making that look beautiful, but you get into the gameplay and it's a tragedy. It's a wreck. Like, you really don't want to play any of their games that they design. But this one, they kind of made up for it, so it feels really good. PlayStation 4, played Devil May Cry 4, played a little bit more of that. I was telling Larry that I had to buy the ability speed to run faster, because you're running through molasses. That's how slow it is.
It's Topher here. Are you sure you're not running through the all the syrup that's on his pancakes?
Man, this game feels terrible, and I'm kind of just like, if you guys got upset at Capcom and Ninja Theory for DMC Devil May Cry, and y'all accept this mess, like, it feels worse than the first Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. That's how bad Devil May Cry 4 feels. DMC Devil May Cry just blow this whole game out the water. It looks drab, completely ugly. I don't know. This feels like a Steam Greenlight game that runs at 30 frames per second. It's that
ouch.
bad. And I was just like, Capcom, I don't know what you guys were thinking, but this looks horrible. And this plays a little bit boring. So,
you just don't have anything nice to say about that game, do you?
that game is just DMC Devil May Cry spoiled me. Ninja Theory knows their action, and they know how to make a game look beautiful and play well. They may have some problems here and there, and you can argue anything about Heavenly Sword that you want to, but they turned it out with DMC. It looks beautiful. Playing that mug definitely on One or PS4 and Turbo mode is like, it's like heaven. It's a blessing upon us. It feels good. It looks better with its color palette, and it has a better story. It gives you the abilities. If you buy whatever you need to buy, you don't even have to buy speed because the game runs fast. So, it's a, yeah. So, played the Horizon Zero Dawn for PlayStation 4. Finally got my ancient armor, so I got that trophy. Just ended up trying to get some platinum, trying to get that game platinum.
I forgot you were going back to platinum that.
Yeah, plan on working on that. Plan on doing Bloodborne. Played a little bit of Final Fantasy 7 on PlayStation 4. Really going to be digging into that game and Final Fantasy 9. I'm probably going to be bouncing back and forth. I need to finish 9. I never got a chance to finish it. So I can't wait to start that up again. For Nintendo Switch, played more Dead Cells. I found my loadout, but I can't get it back because I haven't beat the first boss in order to kind of save it, with the battle
plans. What was it? Stuff. I'm curious now.
It is it's a bow. It's like a number 4 bow. It's a double bow that also releases bombs. I was able to get 2 of the arrows that you throw out. I got that. There's an attack that it's an ice attack. It looked like he's doing a Hadouken, and but ice come out to freeze him. They don't give me that one. So that was kind of my loadout because I was doing the bow things and trying to hit him from far back. But he got me, and I had probably about 25 more hits off of him before he could die, and he ended up killing me.
Aww.
So, that was just great. So I died on there.
Getting there, man.
I'm getting there. Played the Mega Man 11 demo on Switch. Play this with a Pro Controller.
Yeah.
If you're going to play this game. You can play it on handheld, but they really need to fix the checkpoints in this game. Because, and I understand that they're going for difficulty, but you only get 3 checkpoints in Blockman's level on normal, and because
there weren't that many checkpoints in any given level originally,
but the levels weren't that long.
Are they really that much longer now?
They're long. You could run
really?
A Mega Man level would probably take you to 15 to 20 minutes to get through, just to even get to the boss.
Well, I think, too, something to keep in mind is that for the first time in a long time again, you're coming at it fresh versus replaying something that you've done countless times, too.
Yeah, but it takes close to almost 7 or 8 screens to get to the first checkpoint. And because the buttons on the Switch are a little bit close for the top buttons, you can end up hitting the wrong button instead of doing what you need to do. Because sometimes the analog stick doesn't let you slide well, and when you're trying to use the face buttons, they don't always respond too. So unless you want to switch, you can add a slide button. You can configure it if you want to, but when you want to like kind of slow down time, so you can like kind of get a exact movement going, you'll end up hitting the button that make you switch your powers in the demo, and then that will ruin you up because there's one section that they lock you from going back with these blades, and these big island things or these big building things keep dropping. You got to try to get through it, and you got to actually meet a certain type criteria to get past that part. So they don't, because they could end up dropping 4 or 5, and it can continue repeating until you beat it, until you get past that certain point. And they always change because there's one of them that you can't really jump. You got to slow down time, but by the time you get there, you have already hit the blades, and they'll kill you. And then you have to start all the way back from the beginning. After you just did a lot of platforming, but it's fun.
Good.
They kind of Blockman. I think the powers that they give you don't work on them, and because you get him down to a certain point, he'll get big, and you've probably seen this in the trailer, and they'll feel his energy again. So then you have to beat that boss in him. Destroy that block before you could continue back on fighting the regular Blockman to get the rest of his energy down. So
what you're telling me is that's not even his final form.
Nope. What? Wow. So you're fighting him about in three parts with 2 energy bars. So and if you don't get the E-Tank, there's one E-Tank that's in there, but if you don't get it, then good luck at dodging and getting through. But I mean, it's something that I am buying. I'm something I look forward to, but they need to fix the checkpoints in that game. At least if they added one more checkpoint and kind of broke it down, since you're probably going through maybe 12 screens in there. And they're just long. It takes a while for you to actually get to the boss. So I think they need to kind of fix that. Other than that, played Planet Alpha. Getting further into that game. Looks beautiful.
How is that?
That game is gorgeous. It really, like I said, it looks really good. Very colorful. It's a little bit busy if you're playing in handheld mode, so I do recommend playing this on a TV. But if you want to pop your headphones in and play it and listen to it, it's a great experience. It's getting challenging at this part, but it's not too much of a challenge. It looks really, really good. So I am enjoying that. Last but not least, played The Messenger. And getting further into that, I'm almost done with the game.
Last time we talked, you said you hit about the halfway point when it shifts from the Ninja Gaiden feel to the Metroidvania feel.
Yeah.
How well did it handle that transition, that change?
Very easy, very smooth. They're very comedic about it too. Some of the characters that you meet, they're very comedic about it, but other than that,
some solid really self-awareness, maybe a little fourth wall break.
Not so much as self-aware, but actually joking with the characters. Like there's one, like when you go into the 16-bit, it gives you a hat, like a rice patty hat. And this time mage, he's like, "Oh, nice hat," talking to and stuff. And then you get to the next checkpoint, you go in and let's say you want to go talk to him, you see a picture of him with the rice patty hat. And he's like, "You like my rice patty hat?" Just like, "What you mean? I'm the one that had a rice patty hat, but you copied off of me." And it keeps doing that. Like, it's kind of making a joke in this world and stuff. You'd be like, "Do you want to buy something?" And then you could chat or buy something. But The Messenger is getting really good. It's still in my nomination for Game of the Year. But like I said, right now the battle is between Iconoclast and Just Shapes and Beats for Game of the Year.
Okay.
So
I'm going to say Shapes and Beats is definitely up there for me. It's Dead Cells and Hollow Knight give it some extremely stiff competition, though.
yeah.
So, which I'm assuming that covers most of your games of the week.
Yeah, that covers most of it. I got it at the time of this recording. I got to download the Forza Horizon 4 demo and give that a shot. And then I'll be starting Quantum Break and stuff. We started some more Xbox One games getting done, and start Doom on Switch. Because I got a copy. I already beat the game, but it was wrapped up. But I want to play it on Switch, and I want to get through it.
I've played some of it on Switch because I totally snagged an awesome deal on it. Because I think I told you I caught GameStop's fuck up a while back. They had a used copy of Doom on the Switch, but they had it stickered as a PS4 copy, so I got it for like $20 used.
Can I tell you the Target that I was by? They put Shadow of the Tomb Raider out for Xbox One and PS4 today, and the game don't come out until Friday. And they wouldn't sell it to me. In fact,
Wow.
they put it out. I went to Target like at 7 my time. They somehow put it out, and nobody recognized that they put that game out. Didn't even know that it doesn't come out until Friday. Like the employees didn't even know. Like y'all didn't even check y'all ad. You got it in your ad as a steelbook version for $59.99, and you guys as employees don't recognize that.
Yeah, you're assuming they care or pay attention. So
I talked to the electronics guy Monday about that, and he was just like, "We just got them in, but we can't put them out until Friday. We can't sell it till Friday." So then, you need to talk to the people who work in your department.
Right. So, I've been playing the usual suspects. I'm still just piddling my way with Dead Cells because I can fit in short little bursts of it in between, as I have limited time right now because work is batshit insane. A run here, a run there. The other one that I'm sinking some time into is I'm back to Hollow Knight because we're playing through that for NBC Video Game Book Club this month, and I being in the middle of both of those at the same time is really weird because I feel like I'm playing a Venn diagram of the Metroidvania genre. There's parts of that genre that both games have, and there's parts of that genre that only one has or only the other has. And it took me a while to realize, when I'm like, that's what this is. This is a Venn diagram of a genre, and it works. I feel like I'm getting like 150%. If you put them together, you have 150% of a Metroidvania game, which is fantastic. It's a little weird juggling between the two, though, because I know that structurally they are very similar in a lot of respects, but bouncing between the two, I keep having to readjust my mentality for, oh fuck, I'm not playing Dead Cells, the controls are now wrong, and vice versa when I'm switching back over to from Hollow Knight. So, but Hollow Knight, I'm presently working my way towards the end of my first bit through Green Path again. I'm super excited replaying this because now the final DLC is out, and I stopped just short of finishing it my first time through because I was waiting for the last DLC pack to go back in and actually finish it, and now I have an excuse to start fresh and go back all the way through with all the knowledge of my first playthrough to make it a better experience, I think, for me, as well as knowing a few things to look out for to stop and appreciate the beauty and the nuance of that I didn't the first time around because I was so busy getting myself unfrustrated from being stuck in certain points. So the second playthrough is just as magical as the first, but for a whole different set of reasons, and I love that fact. So that's I know my games of the week is a little short, but again, that's what happens when you work like 65 hours a week for the last several weeks running. I'll supplement it though, because Eddie, I told you I got something in the mail a couple weeks ago, and I was going to show you, and I never did. And I don't know if your camera's on or if you're receiving the camera, Topher, but I was super pumped when this showed up in my mail. My beautiful, officially licensed Samus Pro controller for my Switch.
It
It's
is cool.
all chrome,
Nice.
like red-orange on the front with that golden D-pad, and on the back it's all the yellow, and the triggers are like color swapped. So you've got yellow triggers on the red front and red triggers on the yellow back, and it's super pimp. And I was like, wait, what? There's an official, legit licensed one of these? And like, yep, I'm going to need to own one of those.
Nice.
So it's super pretty. I was really impressed. Like, part of me wants to play with it, and a bigger part of me just says, no, I'm not taking this out of the box. It's too damn pretty. Like, I can see it just getting fingerprinted and looking disgusting, but in the box, it's gorgeous, and it's going to hang on my wall proudly. But looking at it now and holding it in my hands, like, it's got some serious, like, heft to it. I kind of want to get, like, a second Pro controller from these guys, made by Power A, and because they're not terribly expensive. They're like $30-$40.
Yeah, Power A,
And
they work close with Nintendo for a lot of their
Yeah.
products.
Yeah, I mean it's a corded Pro controller, but the cord's detachable from the controller too, which is a little peculiar to me. But in any case, no, I want to get a second one of a different variety just to actually play with, because it looks like it should be really solid. I'm impressed. I was not expecting that level of quality. So, but we'll see what other ones they put out. But the Metroid one was only available on their website. They never put it out into any stores, and I only came across it by pure happenstance. So, but yeah, that's a thing. So with that, we're about to the point where we're getting ready to jump into what would normally be news, but we're going to divert just a little bit this week. So here's a good point to say break, and we're back. So this is the part where we normally do news, and I've got two quick hits I just want to touch on real quick, and then we're going to divert into something a little different since we have somebody special with us this week. We did just get news today that the delayed Nintendo Direct is dropping on the 13th, which, as of recording, is tomorrow. By the time you guys are hearing that will be today. The other is that ahead of that Direct, Nintendo has also announced that they're going to be doing a 7-day free trial of their new online service, opening up on the 18th of this month. So we're going to be getting a little more information on that in the Direct as well. So that's the quick hits for news, and obviously Eddie and I will be back with another Warp World episode to cover all the deets from everything they talk about in the Nintendo Direct, and give a deep dive breakdown on all that as well. But other than that, since we've got somebody special with us, we technically have a Minister of Maple, but you are honorary Minister of Maple for the week, Topher.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
One of our founding members is Adrian Nieto, and he's from Canada, so we've dubbed him the Minister of Maple.
Okay.
So, but given your throne of pancakes, we'll give you the honorary title this week of Minister of Maple since he's not around.
All right, I'll try not to break anything.
No, break it. It's way more fucking fun that way. So, Topher, you have a lovely history in the industry. you were one of
Do
several.
I? I
You,
don't know if I'd say that.
well, you know what? I'll give you this. You guys were actually my very first podcast many years ago, with Retroforce GO, and Detoid was one of the very first video game websites I really fell in love with. And so I'd love to hear, we'd love to hear from you some stories from your heyday of Destructoid and Retroforce GO, because Retroforce GO was a magical, magical thing that I have yet to find anything else that really, truly recaptures that special love and magic that you guys had.
We weren't trying to do that. Maybe that was why it worked. I don't know. We just were friends shooting the shit.
I say, almost 2 years ago now, we had Jonathan Holmes on, and he had some very lovely things to say about you. And I mean, like, genuinely awesome shit. The man has nothing but love for you, and it was really cool to hear just some weird oddball stories from his time getting to work with you.
Oh, what'd he tell you?
Just weird fun. Apparently the story of standing outside smoking a cigarette and paying somebody to do push-ups stuck out to him, and it makes
that guy. That guy demanded that we pay him to do push-ups. That was PAX East, like 2009, 2010, something like that.
Well, Topher, how did you get to working for Destructoid? Like, how did you get into the business working with them?
It just kind of happened. Like, the site was really young then.
Mm-hmm.
They had only been around for, I don't think, even a year yet. And I knew a couple people that worked there, and we talked, and
Because all you guys like work from home, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, there was no kind of office or anything.
No, there was no like Destructoid headquarters, on an island somewhere.
Oh, that's cool. And then,
I imagine if Detoid had a headquarters, it would be located somewhere squarely atop Skull Crusher Mountain.
It probably wouldn't be a place you'd want to take a UV light.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Well, how did okay, so you guys talked about, Retroforce GO. I was listening to one of the episodes on it, and you used to have to do the Xbox Live reviews.
Yeah.
And I still laugh to this day about that Doritos. Was it Doritos? I think it was a Doritos game.
Oh, the Doritos Dash?
Yeah.
Was that the dinosaur thing?
Yeah.
Like, did you ever regret like doing the 360 like live games, like the reviews?
There were many weeks when I did, yeah.
Because you would go from a bee that would sting you to, I think, a Slurpee at 7-Eleven. That was your ratings.
Yeah, sometimes it was a Slurpee with a bee in it.
Yes.
Your grading scale was one of the best things ever. That was a highlight of my week for like 2 years.
But you also did some animation. You have a bee character. What is his name again?
Geraldo B. Dog.
Geraldo B. Dog.
Yeah.
What made you get into animation, like art wise?
I don't know. It was probably a mistake. Many people would agree that it was a mistake. I shouldn't have done it, myself included. I don't know. I just kind of Ashley Davis had done a couple of little Flash animations, and I came across Flash and was just like, well, maybe I'll try doing that, and I just gave it a shot. And some people liked it, so I did a couple more, and then it kind of just evolved into this thing where it was like, okay, now I've kind of had a story in my head for the characters, and I just kind of kept it going.
Oh, nice. Did you
really time consuming.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it takes a long time to do something like that.
Because you
I
probably
don't doubt that.
got to animate frame by frame. I think probably.
Yeah. Like Flash has stuff that it can automate and it can do tweens and stuff on its own, but I didn't really use any of that. I just did it all frame by frame.
Oh, okay. And like, have you ever thought about being a comic book artist or ever doing anything like that?
Sure, when I was a kid, we all dream of dreams, then let them go when they're crushed, when we become old men.
Well, it's. I always appreciate your art and your discussions on Retroforce GO and everything. What other stuff would you have loved to done at Destructoid if you were still there?
I don't know. I think I kind of did everything that I wanted to do there. It was the cool thing about it was that Nero was kind of just down for if hey, I want to do this, and he'd be like, all right, go do that. There wasn't any like, oh well, you're the podcast guy, so you're not allowed to write, or you're a writer, so you're not allowed, or you do this, so we don't want you to do. There wasn't anything like that. It was just like there was just a team, and we all did whatever we kind of felt like doing.
A lot of free reign.
Yeah,
it's good. I think it shows in the magic of Destructoid that people love what they're doing because they're doing it because they want to do it, because they said, hey, I want to do this, and somebody's like, fuck it, that's great, do that.
Yeah, that's how Retroforce started, actually. We were in Miami. Hang on, my dog is barking and my wife is yelling at the dog to stop barking, so it's very noisy. We were in Miami and we were just kind of sitting on the beach, and Dyson went to Nero and was like, hey, I want to do a retro podcast. And Nero was like, all right. And that's the story of how that became a podcast. We just did it. We just wanted to do it, and Chad was like, yeah, that sounds cool, like something that I would like to do, and then we just did it.
Chad is a ball of energy. Like, there's something...
Yeah.
That he's, I think, one of the nicest ass in. It's just like you see him and you want to be his friends. He says a line and you just be like, can I have you as the best friend for the rest of my life? Like, he just has something appealing to him.
Yeah, he's definitely that kind of guy.
I love him so much.
He is also truly like one of the nicest people that I know, and one of my still dearest friends. He's just an all-around amazing guy.
He really is. I've gotten to talk to him a little bit here and there on Facebook, and he did me a solid about 1.5 years ago. He helped make a wish come true for one of our other guests on the show. From a while back, he was kind enough to oblige me and subsequently them, which was very, very sweet of him to do. But he always strikes me as like one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet.
He is. Chad's like a superhero that his like mission is for everyone to be happy, and then he will just do whatever he can to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how active he is on Twitter. He's just like, even though he plays a lot of Nintendo games, he plays other stuff, and just be like, if you don't own this game for the system, pick it up. He's that kind of person. I'd be like, okay, Chad. Because that's how I actually found about the Mega Man 11 demo. Chad posted that on Twitter, and I was just like, alert, alert, alert. Mega Man 11 demo, everybody get it. I was on my Switch quick to get that game. And it's just like, I just love his positivity. Especially if people don't know, we're recording on Happy Video Games Day. I think that's the celebration for today.
National Video Games Day, yeah.
Video Games Day. I don't know how this even started. I was just like,
because everything needs a fucking holiday now.
Right. Hallmark wants to sell more video game cards.
So, Topher, I'm curious. I would love to get an update on something that that came about as one of my favorite episodes from Retroforce GO, and it was one where Dyson and Chad were away, and you ran the show that week. It's obviously been many years, but I'm curious, what's your hot take on the latest run of the Muppets show?
Is there a new Muppet Show?
Came around a year or two ago.
Oh my God, no, that's news to me. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there was one on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's news to me. See, I don't fuck with TV. I haven't for many years, so I'm not in the loop on these things. I had no idea there was a new Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're back.
Yeah, they like kind of announced it out of the blue, and everybody's just like, "There's a new Muppet." I think it was after the second Muppets movie. One of the new ones, they I think down the path. I think because of those movies being successful, they had announced it on TV. I didn't watch it.
No, I know there's a new Muppet Babies. It doesn't have Scooter and Skeeter, and what's that about?
Yeah,
or maybe it does now. At this point, I haven't seen it yet, but all the promos and stuff that I've seen of it are like missing characters.
The two old guys were my favorite characters from the whole Muppet series, because they was they would just talk about anybody, everybody, and did not give a care, and they were so witty.
Yeah, Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah.
Oh, forever the best. So out of curiosity, because I know this is very much your cup of tea. Eddie's been kind enough to hook me up with one for when it comes out, but I'm really kind of interest peaked here. Are you getting your hands on one of the new vertical switch grips when it comes out?
Yeah, probably. I haven't pre-ordered one or anything yet, but yeah, I know one of the guys that worked on it, Mike Choi.
Really?
One of the designers, yeah. Very cool guy, and it's a very cool idea. And I remember seeing that and thinking, well, that would be rad if it had like a stand.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, it totally has a stand.
Oh, even better. Okay.
So you can play it in tabletop mode too.
Yes. I had not seen that actually. That's a news flash for me. That makes me all the more excited now. Jesus.
It's gonna make your games feel like true arcade games. So most of the bullet hell shooters and unreleased shooters that never came to America. Japan got some weird shooters.
You might be able to give some insight on this, actually, Topher, because this this is kind of your field of expertise, so to speak. Eddie and I were talking a couple weeks back. What is the deal with like half the bullet hell shooters, or just shooters in general, that come out of Japan? Why are all the bosses like sea animals? Is there a thing that I don't know about?
I don't know. It might be just video game tradition at this point. You know, Gradius and stuff like that. Back in the day, always had a lot of, Darius. Darius is all fish, and yeah. It's a good question. I don't know.
Like, I didn't know. It makes me wonder.
I never really thought about that, but you're quite right.
I just want sexy Parodius and Radiant Silverstone, Silvergun to come to America and be on Switch, because those two are my most wanted, and I've never got a chance to play them.
Isn't Silvergun on Steam or something?
I'm not sure, actually.
Ikaruga is.
I think it is.
Yeah, Ikaruga's on damn near everything.
I don't know. I don't
actually
think
I could be. I'm probably wrong, but
speaking of pop quiz, how many times have you bought Ikaruga now? I'm just curious, Topher.
Let's see.
Because we've talked about the pitfalls of double dipping on shit.
Four times, I guess.
Okay.
Dreamcast, GameCube, 360, and Switch.
Okay.
See, I never knew that it came to Dreamcast. I thought
that's where it started.
But it was arcade, though.
Yeah, but that
Because
was a Naomi system which basically is a Dreamcast.
okay, because I thought Radiant Silvergun came, and that was the last treasure game. Because when I seen Ikaruga come to consoles, it was on GameCube, and it was by Atari for all people, which is still the weirdest thing. I was just like, how the heck did Atari publish a treasure game? That's
By the way, yeah, I'll say. By the way, Eddie, you are not far, relatively speaking, from an arcade that has Radiant Silvergun in it.
they probably just got it. Galloping Ghost.
Yeah, they had it when we were there.
They just got it then when you went because they only had the Japanese version of Ikaruga.
Yeah, I got to play some of that too in their arcade there, and it was awesome.
I cannot play that game on a stick at all.
I couldn't play it.
Fun Topher fact. I cannot play Ikaruga on a stick on an arcade machine. And anytime I'm somewhere where it's I was at a friend's house and he had it on one of his cabinets, and it's like, show us your skills, show us how it's done. It's like, I know.
It's like, you're giving me the wrong controller, damn it.
Observe failure.
Yes, because
I can't do that on it's just funny.
Getting to that fourth level is, why did they ever design that mug? That's too much.
It's the best one.
Dude, that's too much switching. I'd be like, I need a second player.
It's the best stage. It's my favorite stage.
It is?
Yep.
Wow. I normally go for stage 2 because I like that boss design. And some of stage 3, but I hate finding that before I get to the boss, that little thing that got it keeps switching the
Shiggy.
Yeah,
the mid boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can never destroy him. He runs away, and I'm just like, oh crap. Like, I don't know. Because I put on Twitter, I was just like, my Ikaruga skills suck. But it's one of those games that I just love popping in over and over again and playing.
So, Topher, as we're heading towards the end-ish, some final thoughts. What have you been doing since Retroforce and Detoid, and do you miss it, and would you ever go back to it?
Yeah, sure. I miss it. I think we all miss it, and all would go back to it. I like to hold on that, to that hope that someday we will do that again. We can't right now, mostly because Chad has Nintendo reasons that he can't do video game related stuff, and Alex at a couple points was in the same situation. So
yeah,
I haven't done much of anything since then. I've just been working, being an old man. I did the journalism show for a little while, and spun that off into like a storybook series that I worked on for a little while, and that didn't float too well. So I've just been working, living, building up the Famicom collection, playing Splatoon, petting dogs, drinking Slurpees.
I've got to ask, by the way, do you still have the metal Slurpee straw?
I do. I do.
Yes!
How do you know about that? Did we talk about that?
You did.
Yes, I do still have that, actually.
Oh, it's fucking amazing. I want a museum of, like, Retroforce GO treasures, and that should be, like, one of the features.
I'm going to go into the Retroforce Hard Rock Cafe and be, like, on the wall.
Absolutely.
The metal Slurpee straw.
It's in a big floating glass cylinder display in the middle of the entire restaurant.
Wow.
Oh. Just spread throughout, or some of Dyson's fucking Goodwill finds.
That guy's luck with the Goodwill is I've never seen it.
I never understood it. I'm like, does he just live near a magic fucking
He just
Goodwill?
lives near an awesome Goodwill, I guess. Mine never has anything like that.
His Goodwill, his Goodwills were churches because he just went in and found blessings. I'm like, how the heck did you find that game?
Right? Oh
The
God!
coolest thing I ever found at my DDR, at my well, I just spoiled it. What an ass! What an ass I am. There was a DDR pad at my Goodwill once, and they wanted something like $200 or something fucking stupid for it. And I was like,
Woo!
"What's wrong with you?" But it was like one of the big metal ones, you know.
Okay. I was gonna say it better be like one of the fucking arcade ones then.
No, it
Jeez.
was like one, like somebody ripped the machine apart and like custom made one for your, you know. It had a PlayStation controller.
Right.
I'm trying to go
I can
into
dig
one.
that.
I'm trying to go into one to find Buster Groove. I'm trying to look for that game.
Oh, and In the Groove?
Is it In the Groove?
Yeah, there's In the Groove. Had the four corners in the center.
Because that's the dancer one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I can't think of much anything else. Topher, is there anything you want to volunteer?
Not really. Sorry, I'm not a more interesting guest.
No, it's okay. You are as beautifully deadpan as I hoped for.
I'm a support character.
Well,
You are 100% the memory that I hold dear.
you do know about our archive.org, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have all the Retroforce GO episodes. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go. Just type in like Retroforce GO in Yahoo, and it'll come up, and it's like the first thing.
Yes, go look at my high school yearbook. That's what that feels like.
Yes,
I've actually I've put it down for a little while, and I need to go back to it. But I've actually been just for purposes of archival and moving things forward on the internet. I've been taking old episodes of Retroforce, Podtoid, and Podcastle, and actually putting them into like just a base video format, the audio against a still image, to get them up on YouTube, because as far as I've been able to find, they're not anywhere. So, but like I said, nothing nefarious, anything more than just, for archival purposes of putting it in a slightly more contemporary medium somewhere to still be enjoyed. So, and I may go back to that soon to try and get the rest of that done, but it's coming along somewhere on the YouTube internets. But in any case, so with Eddie, anything else you want to hit on?
Not really. I know Tokyo Game Show has happened, so if you want to check that out, it's on YouTube. It's the PlayStation lineup tour. They deliver some news for some new games, so you guys can check that out. We got the Nintendo Direct, but pretty much that's about it. We'll find out more. Well, Topher, I want to ask you this question. I'm sorry. Who do you think should remake Super Metroid?
You mean, like, who would I want to remake Super Metroid if they were going to do it?
Yeah, a developer who should remake Super Metroid. I said wait for it.
That would be cool.
Larry doesn't want it to be remade, but
my answer is no one.
I mean, that officially is also my answer, but if they hypothetically,
internet high five,
if they were gonna do it, Way Forward would be cool. Double Fine.
Well, Double Fine. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my brain around that now.
Like, Tim Schafer taking Super Metroid? That's...
I don't know. His record's kind of spotty.
I think he would do a good job, but that's...
Now I'm just picturing Samus being voiced by Jack Black.
Oh, no. I mean, I would actually buy that. I would actually buy Double Fine's version of Super Metroid.
Samus could be voiced by like Joan Cusack.
Ooh. Wow.
Oh God.
What?
I will never get that out of my head.
Wow. Well,
Oh shit. Well,
Perfect
Topher,
reboot that you didn't know you wanted.
but I would still pay $50 or $60 to have it.
Oh Christ. So Topher, where can all three of our listeners find you?
Twitter. It's probably the only thing I'm really doing right now. My website is still around, rockmelonsoda.com. That's kind of not the most active thing in the world anymore. We're all using Discord these days rather than the forums anymore. But I'm on Twitter. You can just search for me there.
Can I mention, by the way, you have like one of the best fucking Twitter handles I've ever seen.
Do I?
It made me smile when I saw what it was. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant.
Oh, well, this is interesting.
So you want to share that Twitter handle for the folks at home?
It is Toferocious.
See, it's fan-fucking-tastic.
It's ironic.
It is ironic, but it's beautiful. So
I'm not ferocious. I'm a very nice man.
You are. You are the nicest. You put up with our shit and volunteered to come to.
I appreciate you guys having me on. It's very kind of you.
Like I said, it was absolutely our pleasure. As always, you can find us on the Facebooks, World 1-1 Podcast. Hit the like for that Facebook page. Get all the updates. We're also, of course, on the Twitterverse, World 1_1 Podcast. We're always, happy to talk with all three of you that listen to the show. So feel free, shoot us a message on Facebook, on Twitter, all that. I do catch all those, and I respond to absolutely anything and everything. So come talk to us. Come play with us. Also, pimping the side project here. Jump on, if you're on Facebook, go jump into the NVC Video Game Book Club group and join us as we play through Hollow Knight this month. Make sure you're in there so that way you're ready for voting for next month's console and game selection. And new to the group with its rebirth, we have a very, very kind and generous member who is of his own free will and charity. I have yet to put a gun to his head for this shit, but has actually been putting up a drawing now and is doing a drawing every month for anyone that does not have the game of the month. He will buy you a copy for the winner. So, you've got a crack at a free game while you're at it too. So come join us. There's still time to get in and make your way through Hollow Knight in time for the end of the month. Again, we do we're going to be taking a couple of the most active members of the group for the month and bring them on board for our end of the month discussion podcast. So other than that, you can of course always find us at our home on shoutengine.com, iTunes, Google Play Music. We do appreciate the subscriptions, the downloads, the reviews, the ratings, all that good shit. Other than that, that's it. That's it for us. Good night.
And we will see you all next time. Once again, thank you, Topher, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And everybody, we will see you next time on World 1-1 Podcast. Bye.
Peace.